Under the CMD folder, you will follow code space dot enter. So your VS Code will load under the project folder. Your project folder will load under the VS Code by default. Right, VS Code is open. So we must leave the group to people to log in. Because they will log in between and disturb everyone. So hope your CMD is open in VS Code. This one, Visual Studio is open and API folder is loaded. Let's go now. Under the API folder, you will create few files. For example, create a file called home.html. Create one more file, index.html. Create one more file, service.html. Create one more file, something gallery.html or maybe product.html. This many files we created, 4 files in one folder. That is called API folder. In all the file, in product file, you can write h1 product list. Similar way, in the service file, you can write our services. Services. In home file, you can write welcome home. To do that. Service file we wrote our services. Home file we wrote welcome home. Everywhere you follow H1, write something, anything, whichever you want. उसमें रुकिए मैं फैन ऑन किया मैंने कम ही रहने दो मेरे तेज साउंड वहाँ पे देखिए जो सेकंड वाला स्विच है नहीं उससे पहले हाँ उसको ऑफ कीजिए 2 मिनट में इसको कम कर देंगे Okay, so in API folder, open the Visual Studio. In API folder, you have one JavaScript API folder. Inside the API folder, first create 4 files. Home, index, product, service. In API folder of JavaScript, if you don't have folder API, create that. And in that folder, create 4 files. Home, index, product, and service. 4 files. Four files are ready. After creating the 4 files, this VS Code you can open here. Do you have idea how to open here? You can open CMD in which folder? API folder. And then in that CMD we can write code space dot. Directly VS Code will get open. Right. After that, how many files are ready? 4 files are ready. In home you can write welcome home. In service you can write our services. In product you can write our a product list. Anything you can write some text in that. And main file is the index file, so we'll come to the index file. In index file, start from HTML, follow the head section, write a script also. Follow the body section. Under body section, you can follow a division. Inside division, we can write some button. call home. Next button, our services. Next button, product. Next button, user. Next button, something, comment. Next button, car list. So home we have okay. Next, let it be called our services. Next, we can write here call our product. Next, we can write here call something user list. We can write call comment list. Next, we can write call our list. Okay, so in this all buttons, few buttons are for the static pages and few buttons will be for the dynamic pages. We will use JavaScript fetch function to read the data from within the server, out of the server. Fetch function, promise function, those functions will help us to communicate from the backend to frontend. Till yesterday we have used the array. Array was helping us to read the data, write the data within the computer. It was not able to deal with the other server. But JavaScript is called as a client-side language. It can get the data from the backend, do the manipulation, display to the user, collect the input from user, give to the backend, right? So at that point, how we can use and where we can use and those this function, this the API folder is going to explain you. If you have some static page in the backend, how to read that. If you have some data in the form of JSON as a raw material, how to read that and how to design different kind of layout and how to produce in front of the user. Okay, so this become one a small function, a list of the buttons. Now come down, write a division. This division will be ID as a container. We can give container as a ID, container and container. Okay, next after that, in container we have nothing as of now. For the upper section, D will give ID as a something NLB, NLB map, and for the button we can write some CSS. Okay, so till hope here you have made ready. We can call here one external CSS file. Under the head section, we can link one CSS file also. So you can write here a script, not a script, link rel equal to style set and href equal to this is why going outside href equal to something style.css, and then we can close here link rel style set href style.css. So we can create one style.css file also, and then this buttons what we have, we can write some CSS. It will look little clean. For this container, some CSS we can write. For nav, some CSS we can write, and then we will see how it is going to run with the live server and how it is going to work. What are the function will communicate. Connected. Okay, ready? So HTML portion is ready. We can go to the CSS file. You can write one file style.css. Style.css. Okay, shall we go to the CSS part now? Yes, is it ready? Ready. No, HTML. That quickly. Okay, so come to the CSS file. Right there, one for NAV as name as nav. Editor nav padding 10 pixel and text hyphen align center. So your all button will come in the middle. This much only for nav. Next for has container. First padding from top 20 pixel, left right 10% and bottom 20 pixel. Mean height 500 pixel. Okay, after that margin auto and text align center. Margin auto text align center. Padding mean height margin auto text align center. So padding is going to leave from 10 pixel, 10% from left, 10% from right, 20 pixel from top, 20 pixel from bottom, and minimum height will be 500, and whatever the content you will keep, all will come in the middle. After that, you write one CSS as a footer tag, directly for footer. Text align center, and after that, border hyphen top 10 pixel double orange color. Double orange color. Text align center. Padding something we can write 20 pixel. Color is a blue color. This is for the footer. Footer is not written still. We can go and write and we can check once. Okay, so once CSS is ready, you can ping me in the chat. We can write one more CSS for button, or first we can see for this one. Footer we can add and we'll run the page. We'll identify how that look. Then we can apply the again some more CSS. padding, margin, text line. For footer, we have written only text line, border, padding, and then color. CSS, let me share in the chat also. CSS into the chat. Yeah, CSS is ready. We can go to the index file. See, in index file, top is the nav, last is the container. After container, you can write a tag called footer. Footer. Under the footer, in paragraph, you can write JavaScript fetch API, then promise function example in the footer. Here, run this file, index file. You can run index file directly and check once footer is coming in the last. See, footer is coming in the last. JavaScript page function API, double line. These buttons are on the top. We can write some very good CSS for this button so that it will look fine. Some better look will come, and this middle section is for the container. Footer is its last block. The middle section is container, and the upper section is the this one. Your navigation. So hope footer is ready. Footer, you saw the page and check once. CSS file again. Okay, now we can write some CSS for button. Button, padding of the button from top 10 pixel, left right 20 pixel, from bottom also 10 pixel. Left right if you want you can increase to 30 pixel. Button become little wide. Color will be something blue color only. Cursor, when mouse will touch the button, will convert into pointer. Next, after that, when we move the mouse on button, button colon hover, button colon hover, background of button, convert into orange color. Color blue is okay. Button colon visited. Button colon visited. Not visited. Button colon active. Button space active. Button colon active or visited. Active button should be in whichever the button you click, that should convert into pink color. So this some CSS we wrote for button. Okay, ready? So it is here. Refresh the page. This look like this. Okay, wherever the button mouse will go, cursor will change a little. Border we can keep none, then it will look more better. For button you can write border as a none. No any kind of border. So that design part is ready. Design part is ready. This is active or visited. Let me try with the visited, because once you click on that, it should become pink for always. Till will not click somewhere else, it should be pink. I made button colon visited. I will check once. Background button colon active was okay. Active was better. Here in border none we have made is okay. Background we can apply one color. Default color blue we have given, so background will be which color? Gray color. Gray color by default. Button will be gray color, and then when the mouse will go there, it will convert into orange. When we click on that, then it will convert into pink. Right? Background hyphen color is a gray color. So some changes will happen now. Button is looking something. Now according to click, here the data will get changed in the middle section. Header we got on the top, footer we got in the last, middle section we have for the container. Check CSS part, then just now we'll go for the next JavaScript, right? JavaScript functions, API function are easy only, not difficult. Once we write one function, then you can understand easily. You can keep writing on it. Okay, CSS is ready. Check with this button.
Sriram, for me, the footer, for me, the footer was not coming in the down.
Which is footer is not coming.
No, footer is coming, but not the downside. It is coming after the navigation bar.
Here. This line, mean height. In container, you need to add the mean height.
Yeah, I have added that min height also. 500 pixels.
You added the mean height also.
Yeah.
Send this code in chat. I'll guide you what is the problem. The division you have created here, for this division, you have given the ID as a container.
Just a minute, I'm checking.
After text align center, semicolon is not there. In the CSS, text align you have written center, but semicolon you have missed out. Text align center semicolon.
Yeah, I have added that one.
Now it is working.
I'm checking one. No, still it is same.
Hmm.
Still it is same. I'm not getting that one down.
Share your screen quickly. You can share your screen. I'll guide you.
I'm not able. Just a minute. I'm sharing. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. This is the code.
You are in the laptop or system.
Laptop.
Make you click on screen share. No?
Sorry, which one?
On screen share. I have made you host already. No, you are not able to find the option.
No, I'm not able to find that.
Oh, I will send you file and you can replace that.
Okay.
Index file and a style.css file, both I sent in chat. You can replace that. It should work. Okay. After that, so design part is ready. In that now, according to button click, the data has to come here. We have made some pages also. For home, we have home file. For service, we have service file. For product, we have product file. So these three we are going to see using JavaScript how to read a HTML file. And last three we have there we'll see how to read the data from external source as a live API URL. So come to the here inside the function. On home click, you call a function call get home, and on about us our services click. On click, call a function call get about, get about. On product click, We'll call a function call get product. Get home, get about, on click C will be small only. So these three static pages, these three function will write here first. Enter the script part, you will write a function get home equal to get home equal to keep a alert here. Call home. Again write one more function. Get about. In get about click function, call a alert from about. Ready? Now this file, index file, let's go here in the left hand side. You have the icons. In that you can see one option, the last option you have called extension. Last option we have called extension. Check now, extension is visible. In the VS Code, in the left hand side, the list of the icons you have, in that last icon you have called extension. We can click on extension. Click on extension. And after clicking on extension, search box appear. In search box, you can type here Reykjavik live server. Reykjavik live server. Just type Reykjavik, Ritwyck. It is a lightweight live server. After installation, your VS Code will work like a client and server. It will work like a client and it will give a port number. On that port number, we can run our page and that we can communicate with the backend easily. It will not have any kind of cross origin problem. It will not give any error saying like client server communication blocked. It will work easily. So once you type here, live server will come. There will be install button here. Just click on install. Hope installation is happening. right? Once installation is done, then this setting option will come to deinstall that. So let it install. Okay. Now after doing that, anyone not able to install? Okay, cool then. If you have done, now come to you again, come back to you again file. You will click on this file icon. So that Ritik server is installation is done. Now the index file, we are not going to run as we have run here. We have run directly in the browser. If you run like this directly, HTML, CSS will work, JavaScript will work, but when the matter will come to communicate with the backend, there will be some error called cross origin blocked. So your client will not be able to communicate with the server. So in that case, your client also should run on the port number and the server also should run on the port number, then only communication will happen. So it is a concept of client and server. How the JavaScript will we have like a client and your other file will be have like as a server. Next, after doing that, here your installation is done. In index file now, in index file, you will do the right click and then you will find one option called open with live server. You click in that and check, see like open with live server option is coming. If option comes as a open with live server, click on that. Open with live server. In which file? Index file. Automatically some browser should get open. Right click, open with live server. After that, automatically some browser will get open. In case browser is not open, then manually you can go to your browser and you can write localhost colon 5500 / index.html. If by default browser is not open, after selecting the open with live server, you can go to the browser and you can type there localhost colon 5500 and index.html URL I ping in your chat. What option? Open in browser. Anyone? Any error? In index file, after doing the right click and open with live server, the browser should get open directly. Any browser. In case the browser has not opened, I have sent you one link in your chat. You can use that link and then see your same page is coming or not. Button click, home button click, welcome home, and then about us click, about us happened. Alert is coming or not. Browser was open. Inside the browser, if you click on button, the function should execute. It should give you the alert. Simple. It should give you the alert. It's working for one person, for other person, for other people. On button click, you got the alert and it's open with any browser live server. Okay, now for testing purpose, we will go to the CSS file. And see here, this is the live server. So if you modify any code in your page, this page will reload automatically. You don't have to reload this page manually. So I will go to the source file, that is called a style.css file. In a style.css file, for button, you have given the background as a which color? Blue color, correct? And text is which color? Blue color, right? So we will change the background to red color, and then we'll see red is reflecting in the browser or not, or maybe change here as a black color, and check your browser got reload automatically. Red and white, or red and white color, change the red and white, red and black and white, not red and white, black and white. Just save your file. Once you go in browser, the menu will be changed without reload. That should happen without reload. If without reload happen, that meaning your page is running through live server now. Check, see, I went to the browser, I can see the menu got changed automatically. After going to the browser, automatically menu got changed. Menu got changed. Once you change into the button class, any CSS, and come to the browser, menu will get changed automatically. Okay, so few answer has come. Oh, working for them. Now next go ahead and apply the measure functionality what we wanted to develop. So we'll come to the index.html file. Index.html file, we have written a function here called alert. Remove the alert and call a function called fetch function. Call a function called fetch function. Okay, fetch function is called as a API function. Fetch function is called as a API function. What is the use of this function in JavaScript? In JavaScript, fetch function will help you to bring the data from the backend to the front end, and to send the data from the front end to backend. It is a function that will help you to send and receive the data from where to where, client to server and server to client. Now inside the page function, we are going to test with the HTML pages. We have created a file called home.html. Home.html. Now what this function will do? This page function will, since you are given only home.html, so page function will search in current folder. Is there any file called home.html? If home.html is there, that meaning your request will send successfully to a home.html. Now, when you send the request to home.html, home.html will listen your request, and after that, from there, some response will come. So look at the home.html file. What response will come? Welcome home, but it is written under the HTML. So this file itself is HTML. So from here, response will come text and HTML both together. Okay. So fetch function. Now, what is the use of the fetch function? Fetch function is sending a request to a respective URL, to a respective path. Now, on that particular path, whichever the file is exists, that file will listen your request. After listening the request, the file will give you some response. Like suppose someone will call you hi, you will not keep quiet, no, you will say hi, hello, correct? So hi is the request and hello is the response. Now your request is sent by whom? Fetch function. A reply will come from there. Once the reply will come from there, fetch function will not capture the reply. Okay, fetch function is only responsible to send the request. Request will go. Now request will go from there. What will happen? response will come. Fetch function will come inside. Okay, fetch function say I send the request. Whichever the response will come, someone else has to capture it. That is called a promise function. Let me go here. Come down below. Hope you are listening properly. Fetch function has send the request. Now from there some response will come. That response will be captured by another function. That function is called a C. List of function started coming here. So that function name is called as a then. Then. Right. Then. Right. Called as a then. Now after when I wrote the then here, and let me move the mouse here at this place. Look at the suggestion what it says. Method promise. Correct? Is it written there? Method is a promise method, right? Promise, right? There is a promise. THEN. Then suggestion is coming. In suggestion, what it says? Promise function. Then is the promise function. Inside you are going to capture the response. Okay. After that, you can see after response, one more then is showing in the last. How many times then? Two times. So here at this point, major point we have to understand using the page function request is going to the home file. Now from home.html, whichever the response will come, that response will be captured by this then function. Okay. And under this, you can use any variable. Example, my response, or maybe data response, or maybe response data, RESPONSE response data. So response data came from where? Home.html file. But your right, so you understood using fetch function, a request is sent to the home file. Now from home file, whichever the response will come, that response will be captured by this function. Which function? Then function. In which variable? Response data. It's a variable name. It can be anything. It's a temporary variable. ABC, XYZ, anything. Right. Okay. Now, when the data has come from that file, since the communication is happening client to server, as a client, your JavaScript has sent the request. Now from the server, response will come. So request went from the client to server. Now response will come from the server to client. Now both is not at same place. Both are different place. Data communication is going to happen through network, through internet. So when the response will come from the backend, it will be encrypted data. It will not be your original data. Okay, then function has captured here under which variable? Response data. But response data promise is not a single function. It is the list of the functions. So using fetch function, you send the request. After that, using the then function, you capture the response. But your response is encrypted response. It is not original. Now you have to think what is the response is coming. Is it coming as a JSON data or is it coming as a HTML and text data? So there will be two type of response. One will be HTML and text and another will be as a JSON. So if the response will come as a HTML and text, we have to use here a function, same function, response data dot text. Response data dot text. For what purpose? To decrypt the data. Data has come from the client to server. It is stored in a variable. Now using the flat arrow method, what you are doing? You are decrypting the data. Where which function is going to play the role? Text function. Since the response is going to come in the form of HTML and text. If the response will come in the JSON, then you have to use the JSON function here. The server will, when the fetch function will apply, the fetch function will communicate with the backend and the backend will give the response in two ways. One, either HTML or text data or another as a JSON data. If the data is coming as a bulk data, then it will be in the JSON format. List of the user, list of customer will be in the form of JSON. If it is like a small, like data saved successfully, please wait processing, invalid input, those will be in which format? text format. Okay, so if the response come as a text, we have to use the text function here. If the response come as a JSON, then we have to use the JSON function. Okay, after that your data got encrypted, data was encrypted, got as a decrypted now. Then again what you have to do, you have to apply again same function. Which function? Then function, to capture the original data. The first data has come, but it was in encrypted mode. Now with the help of text function, you have converted into original data. Again after that, at this place you can't capture the original data, so again you have to apply the second then function. Both then function here is working as a promise function only. Now what is the use of the promise function? At this place, when I have moved the mouse, you saw the suggestion was coming as a what? Promise. Method promise suggestion. What is it? Method means what? Function. Promise. Now at this place, what is the use of the promise function? It is capturing the response. Capturing the response only, no? Fetch function has send the request, and then function from where this whichever the data has come, the your then function has captured the data. For example, through left hand you throw a ball. Now ball will go and touch the wall. Ball will come back. Now left hand will become a disabled. Left hand will not capture. Which hand will capture? Right hand will capture. So here fetch function is working like the left hand throwing the ball. Right hand is working like the what? Promise function, capturing the response. But once you capture the response, your data will not be original data. It will be encrypted data. Since that data is coming from the client to server and server to client. So due to hacking or maybe someone else should not see your data, server will decrypt the data before sending. Now it is the responsibility of the client to capture and decode it. So here which function we are using? Text function. Why? Because our response is coming in which format? Text format and HTML format. Now at this place, the second then function will say, yes, here is your original data. Original data. Now this original data, you want to display as an alert, you want to send to the HTML, you want to display in pop-up window. What you want to do is your wish. So I'll keep here as an alert, and I will keep inside college which one? Original data. People ask purposefully interview why we have applied the two-time then function. One then function was okay to receive the response. Then functions is like one then function is able to receive the response, and at the same time it is able to decode the response. But at the same time, same then function cannot produce the output. So what you have to do? You have to apply the again then function to get the or to capture the original. This is the structure of your which function? Fetch function. Okay. If you are calling as a PHP URL, if you are calling as a Java URL, if you call it a .NET URL, if you call it a Python URL, so those languages will give the response in the form of JSON. Now, when the response will come as a JSON, this function will not help you. Which function? Text function cannot decode the data. So there we have to apply the JSON function again. So to convert it to original format. And after that, using the second then function, we can capture it. So overall, fetch function, send the request. First then function as a promise function, capture the response and decode the response. After decoding the response, again we'll apply the then function to capture the original data. After that, you do the alert, displaying the page, run the for loop, run the map function, do anything with your wish, right? So hope it is clear. Okay, run the page, go to your browser, don't run directly, you have to run this page through live server. Already live server is running, page is reloaded, go and click on home button, you will find welcome home with the HTML. Ready? Come to the browser, click on first home button, see what is saying. Is it saying is a welcome home? Alert should come with a welcome home. I will come to the browser, click on home directly. It should say here H1, welcome home. All content of home file will come as a welcome home directly. If you click like this, something will come, welcome. Let me share. So this file you are not running directly home. How we are running? We are running the file through live server. Your page was already compiled in the browser. Just you are supposed to go and click on which function? Home button. I have shared the code of home file. Check once, on button click, alert appear.
Sir, we having so many tags in that home.html file, and we want to catch two of the tags.
You have to learn the web scraping. Web scraping. Okay. Through web scraping, people take the data from someone website and upload into their website. Like suppose you will go to the Flipkart and you are running on your own website. You want that particular photo, short photo. You want their price, their description. So particular area you will select, and then we have a lot of tools for web scraping. And then do something. After that, photo, text, images, price, everything will come to your application. And after that, you can store in your database, and means you are not putting effort, you are just taking the content from internet. Should not be the matter of copyright. That come under where? Web scraping. Okay. In JavaScript, we have a function document.getElement by ID. Document, or you can say we have some function I'll guide you, like inside the current page. Suppose this is coming as a text format. Whichever the content you have got here, whichever the content you have got here, it is a text data. This is a text data. Inside the text data, through JavaScript, we have to apply the programming. Like suppose inside the home file, there is a somewhere div tag. There is somewhere a span tag. We want to capture only a span tag, right? It will not happen simply. We have to write the very strong programming of JavaScript. We have to write a splitting here, there, finding the element, splitting by comma, splitting by space, splitting by slash. Finally, we can reach there and capture it. It's possible, but it's need not like simple knowledge, little extra knowledge. Okay. So as of now, your data is coming in which format? Text format. It is not as an array. It is not as an object. It is just like the text. Okay. We can add there multiple text and we'll see what is happening. Text will come. Okay. Now come now here. So go here at this place. Our targeted, whichever the content come from the home.html file, it should go to this container. It should go to the where container. So at this place, you will remove the alert, and after that, at this place, we'll remove the alert. At this place, you remove the alert, and after that, use here flat arrow option, come inside, and write here document.getElement by ID, document.getElement by ID, which ID? Container. In container, we want to send that. So container is the element inside our current page. They are using inner HTML. We can send that inner HTML equal to that original data. ORIGI original data. Now you see the data is available under the home file. You read through the fetch function, you did encryption, decryption, and finally the content you capture here, that content you are sending to container using inner HTML. Save the file, Go to the browser. If you click on home, it will show you by default welcome. Alert will not come, but it will display there. If anyone is feeling it's a useless content, you are on the wrong track. To survive in the market as a JavaScript developer, React developer, in React fetch function, everyone where use as a which one? API method. In the React, everywhere, whenever you want to communicate with the client to server, fetch function is used. Without knowing of that, no one will hire you. So make sure, keep your mind positive and forcefully try to understand it. If mind ignore also saying like difficult ignore today, then difficult. Okay. Forcefully you ask your brain, no, you have to understand, it's important. Unable to understand is fine, but try understanding. It's a compulsory. Now go to the browser, click on home button. It should come directly. Now click on home. See here saying welcome home. This content was written in which file? Home file. You are in which file? Index file. Now single click without reloading the page. Content came from there. Not only that much, we'll bring the content from USA also in next 3 examples. I have created the API where in one comment list 500 comments are there. Single click 500 records will come from the server. Okay, in another car list there is a 23 car with a array inside array, multi-level of array. User list I have there, you will have array inside array inside array inside, multi-level of array. So for that purpose is made and kept so that you will learn. Don't ignore. Okay, go to the home file and add some more line in that. In home file, add a paragraph, add some text. When you go to the Gmail, click on inbox, click on here there. Do you see the page loaded? Never know. Those are used advanced technology, asynchronous call everywhere. Okay. Without reloading the page, content will come and go. Okay. Return, save it, and come to the browser. Click on home file. You will see the content will come from the home file. See, welcome home. I added some more content. All are coming. Save now. The question is, if we don't know the complexity, assume we don't know complexity, and someone will show you the complexity, then only you will come to know there is a complexity, right? If someone will not show you there is a complexity, you will feel happy today, but this happiness will be the dangerous for tomorrow. Like suppose now fetch function is the main part of JavaScript. Now suppose will not see the fetch function, will not see the promise function, will not see the callback function. You will not understand the sync await, how that works. Tomorrow, once you come on the project, someone have written the code. If you look the code, you will become surprised. I haven't finished entire JavaScript. This line I have never seen. Right? The problem will come. So these all are the little complex part of your JavaScript that people use in the project. People write in the project. Okay, so hope home file is loading. Now what we want once our page will load. See, I refresh my page. Once I refresh the page, only menu is coming. On load, we can call this function. So once the page will load by default, it will come as a welcome home. Let's go inside. We have a function in JavaScript onload. We can come to the body. Onload equal to onload equal to call that function. Which function was that? Get home. So whenever you do any changes in your project, your live server will keep watching. Live server will is keep running. It will see, okay, some changes happen. Page will get reload. Once the page will reload, by default home file will come. Now you don't have to click on home. Once you go to the browser, you will see by default welcome home there. चेक कीजिए, देखिए. Ready? Now on load, you can see which file is coming. By default, home is coming. We have one more function, service, not service. About we have. Oh, I have made some mistake here. In services, I have called the function called about. So we can change the text here about us. Instead of services, we can change call as a about us. Okay, and then after that, here in about also exactly similar code you can copy paste. Get about function, similar code you can copy paste and change the file name as a about.html. About we don't have, right? We have file called service. Here in about file load the service. It become little something wrong, so no problem. In about file when you click, but about let's make meaningful here. Get service, get service. Okay, here also we can call it a get service, and we can write here our services, because when the page will load it will say service list, our services, our services. Now save the file and click on both the links. Home link, home will come. About us link, about will come. Ready? Now when we click on our service page should come here. See, our services is coming. When you click home, home is coming. Now, according to click, two links are coming, two pages, data. In services file, you can add something. Service.html file. Add here a paragraph. Put some content inside. Okay, hope now it's coming. And we click on services. Is it loading? Some problem. Just ask me. Yes, 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 yes. But very, very next slide. Yeah, we have written in double quote. It's a home.html about.html. Not we have save this. I will read this slide. Are you in the chat? Yeah. Okay, I will tell you about the file. You can use this. Home service. Okay, so all the files came to your chat. Let me send you the direct API folder only. API folder is coming to your chat. You can download it. See you tomorrow again.